Hey, welcome to this session. In this session, we're going to talk about agility and with model groupings. Now, agility or agile in a data warehouse concept, there's quite a lot of content out there. So the first thing I'd like to say is if you want to build an agile data warehouse or build an agile data vault, you go ahead and read as much as you can. There are several books there by different authors. There are blogs, all coming at it from different angles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about two different parts of it. The one is you need to be agile in a data vault space, and a data vault is totally geared up for this and designed for this. You need to be agile in the way that you model, and then the agile in the way that you deploy. So to be truly agile, if you think about having a source system or multiple source systems that you are modeling towards a target, you could have source systems, and most of our customers have source systems of hundreds of tables. And bringing hundreds of tables into your data warehouse automation tool, you want to be able to focus on the small deliverables or the short deliverables that you need to have, right? So being agile and to start small and add incrementally is vital to any software automation or data warehouse automation that you can use. And then you need to have the ability to use those smaller iterations and be able to incrementally and continuously deploy on top of each other. So in the upcoming release of BimlFlex, what we have done is added this additional column here called Model Grouping. Now, I've only brought in the VentureWorks here, only a couple of tables here, but I'm going to explain, or it's going to show the same difference. What you now can do is on the objects, you can go ahead and provide groupings here. So what I've done here is I've said, well, these tables here are in the customer domain, these tables here are in the product domain, and these tables here are in the sales domain. So let's just say for whatever reason that your first sprint or your first iteration, you only need these two tables. Now, again, as I said, most of the customers who work with these are hundreds of tables, and you may have only want a subset of those tables in your first iteration because you really want to model it incrementally and make sure you get the model right. So all I need to do here is go into set current sheet. So from there, I'm going to go into Biml Studio. And all I'm going to do here is just going to go refresh the metadata. And what's going to do here, you won't see a change here. But effectively what's going to happen here is all the metadata here is going to have now the model grouping added to it. And now what I can do is to go and have a look at, as I said, I want to do just a small part of my Data Vault model. I'm going to go to my Data Vault Preview Accelerator here and go and say, I want to do that record source, the VentureWorks LT record source. And the model grouping I want is just the sales model grouping. And then I want to go and publish this to my Data Vault. I'll commit this and I'll hit the preview import. So the Data Vault preview import is going to show me my preview. Now what I'll want to, one of the key things here about being agile is what I've got here is I've got my two hubs, my sales order hub and sales order line. I have the two links for them and their satellites here. And again, I can go and do a lot more modeling around this space here. But what I also have is because the sales order and sales order line refers to the hub, the product, the customer address, I need to infer or create these hubs. Otherwise, I would have links without hubs. So although I have only included the sales, from the links, I'm deriving the hubs. And that's the way that we can do this. So let me just show you here in the visual editor what this will look like. So I'll go ahead here and go and look at my database schema diagram, and this is going to just give me a visual representation of what's happening on the side here, and then I can just do a visual review of this. And this is great when you are, as I said, when you are doing a big data vault model. You may want to just visualize or model or design only subsets of your Data Vault model. You may even want to just look at the Data Vault preview here, and as you can see here, it gives you a quick view. So this over here is now my model, and once I'm happy with that model, I can go ahead and just hit Publish Data Vault Import. And what it does is it takes this preview and publishes the metadata to the metadata repository or the database, and then pulls it back down, and then we'll bring in all of the code here. So now I've got all of my code here to both create the small data vault, a subset of the data vault, and also to build all the packages required for it. There you go. As you can see there, I've got the packages to my hubs and my data vault for my product and my links there. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead here and just build this all out, and then I'll show you what the packages look like. All right, so the build has been successful here. Let me go ahead and show you the output of the packages. Now, both the output of both the our exercise packages, and if you were doing sort of a SQL-based ELT, they will have the same process. So the first one that we do here is we're just going to look at the sales order detail package here, and the key thing I want to show you here is that the design pattern of all of our packages work this way. It'll grab, and again, you can at a batch level here, you can have as many packages run in parallel as you want by defining how many package threads you want to run in parallel. But in the individual package, it works in this way. So it'll load the hub, and then it'll load any links associated with, so it loads it per source table. So it'll first load the hub, and then it'll load all the links. If there's multiple links, it'll load the links. And again, these will be parallelized, or they will be in parallel. And then again, if you have one or multiple satellites for the source, these will all be loaded in parallel. Don't worry too much about the detail there. The thing that I want to point out to you here is this infer hub. So inside of, so recently Roland Vos wrote an article about eventual persistence and referential integrity in a data vault. To make sure that we don't have any links that reference, it could reference a product, but that product hub, as you say, may be either not modeled yet, so we don't have the source of the product being generated yet, so there may be no data going into the product hub. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that we effectively create the missing products in this process from the link. So from the table that are inserting the links, we can create this inferred link hub. And it's quite simple. Inside of BimlFlex, there is a simple setting that you switch on. Let me show you the setting here. It's called Data Vault Infer Hub Link Hub. So there's just a setting here, and I'm just going to hit the word infer here. And as you can see here, we have two settings really, but the first one here is Data Vault Infer Link Hub. And what that means, if I've set that to yes, that means that if I'm loading a link, at the end of the load, I need to go and check if there's any missing hub records, and then we'll insert the hub records there for us, right? Again, if you have a source that you are loading in full and you won't have any missing record, you can just switch this off to, you can set this to no, and that will speed up the load process a little bit. But to be honest, that inferring of the link based on our current customer stack, customers, that is really not a concern when it comes to performance. So once again, I'd like to thank you for watching this very short video here about Data Vault agility, or being agile in Data Vault, and how BimlFlex can help you by giving you the ability to model in subsets, by domain, breaking your model down into smaller pieces, and look forward to seeing you in the next session. Thank you.